You think you know the samurai, a warrior poet writing haikus by moonlight before facing his foe in a noble duel, ready to die as beautifully as a cherry blossom falls. This is a comforting, elegant lie. Forget the cherry blossom. Your symbol is the mud. It's the cold, clinging mire of the rice paddy you'll die in, trampled by 100 frantic feet. It's the grime that cakes your armor, fills the cuts on your hands, and mixes with the blood of the man you just killed with a spear, not a sword. The late 16th century in Japan isn't about honor. It's about upheaval. The old ways are cracking under the weight of ambition, betrayal, and a terrifying new sound that rips through the air, the roar of the arquebus, a weapon that cares nothing for your swordsmanship or your lineage. Your world is a chessboard of shifting loyalties, where your lord today might be your enemy tomorrow, and the peasant you command might be the one to drive a bamboo spear through your back for a bag of rice. This isn't a stage for noble sacrifice. It is a desperate, grinding war for survival, and you are a blade adrift in a storm. Welcome to Epoch Immersion. We strip away the lacquer and silk to find the iron and blood beneath. Today we're discovering what it was really like to be a samurai in the final chaotic years of the Sengoku Jidai, the age of warring states. Before the great peace of the Tokugawa shogunate, this was an age when a man like you, with a skill and a sharp sword, could carve his name into the annals of history, or just as easily, be erased by it in a single anonymous heartbeat. Imagine it. You are that man. Your hand rests on the cold, familiar silk wrapping of your katana's hilt. Your world is defined by the whims of your lord, the strength of your arm, and the keenness of your eye. This is not a romantic tale of heroic death. This is a practical guide to the grim business of living through it. Your life as a bushi, a warrior, is one of extreme violent paradoxes, a reality we are about to dissect, piece by bloody piece. If this is the kind of deep, unflinching dive into the past you're searching for, take a moment to subscribe to Epoch Immersion. It's your support that allows us to keep digging up these truths. Now then, what was the appeal? So what is the allure? Why choose this life? First, there's power. Not abstract power, but the immediate, tangible authority you carry in the weight of your two swords. When you walk through a village, commoners stop their work and bow their heads. Not out of courtesy, but out of fear. You possess the right of Kirisude Gomen, the legal authority to strike down any commoner who compromises your honor. You are the law here. Your word, backed by the ever-present threat of your blade, is absolute. This is a heady, intoxicating kind of status. Then there's the promise of wealth. Your ambition is measured in koku, a unit of rice, enough to feed one man for a year. Take a castle, win a battle, and your lord might grant you a fief. Land is power, and rice is the currency of that power. A domain of 10,000 koku makes you a daimyo, a lord in your own right. It means you can afford to field an army of your own retainers, clad in armor, bearing your crest, the same crest engraved on your own tarnished tsuba. It is the dream of every warrior to become a master, not just a servant. Finally, there is purpose. In this chaotic age, your life is anchored by a singular, unwavering principle: absolute loyalty to your Lord. He is your son, and you orbit his will. This devotion, this sense of being a vital part of a grand historic struggle, gives meaning to the mud and the blood. But for every ounce of power, there's a pound of peril. The battlefield is not a stage for elegant duels. It is a meat grinder. Forget the master swordsman fantasy. You are far more likely to be killed by a peasant with a pointed stick. Your first and perhaps last lesson is to fear the yari, the long spear. A wall of them, wielded by disciplined ashigaru foot soldiers, is a force that has broken many a proud samurai charge. You are not a hero, you are a target, and there are 100 spears aimed at you. Then there is the horror of the arquebus volley. You hear a deafening crack, and the man beside you, a friend you shared a cup of sake with last night, simply collapses, his expensive armor punched through by a crude lead ball. There is no honor in it, no contest of skill, just a sudden, shocking end delivered from 50 paces away. Your tarnished tsuba can deflect a sword, but it is useless against this new, impersonal thunder. This is the new reality of war. The greatest threat, however, may not be in front of you, but beside you. Betrayal is the political currency of this age. the ally on your flank might suddenly switch sides mid-battle for a better offer. Your own lord might order your assassination to consolidate his power. Paranoia is a survival trait. Every shadow in the castle corridors could hide a rival, and every shared drink could be poisoned. You learn to sleep with one hand on your sword, trusting no one completely. And if the enemy doesn't kill you, the life itself will grind you down. Your armor, weighing 50 pounds or more, chafes your skin raw on long marches. The food is meager, cold rice balls and pickled radishes for weeks on end. Dysentery and other diseases sweep through camps far more effectively than any army. A simple cut from a blade, if it becomes infected, is a death sentence. Which of these grim realities is most surprising to you? Let us know in the comments below. But your life is not one constant frantic battle. There are weeks, sometimes months, of quiet. This is not a time of rest. It is a time of sharpening. Your day begins before dawn, on a cold floor. There is no luxury here. Your home is a Spartan space of tatami mats and paper screens, designed for function, not comfort. The first thing you do is greet your sword, a silent acknowledgement of the tool that defines your existence. Then the real work begins, a routine of relentless, repetitive practice. In the courtyard, you practice your saburi, 1,000 practice swings with your wooden bakken. This is not about fighting an imaginary foe. It is a physical meditation, burning the perfect fluid motion of a deadly strike into your muscle memory until it is as natural as breathing. Every muscle in your body screams, but you do not stop. Your life and the lives of the men you lead depend on this unthinking, instantaneous precision. Being a samurai is not always about fighting. Often it is a bureaucratic grind. You are a warrior, but you are also a middle manager in a feudal corporation of violence. You stand guard duty on the castle walls for mind-numbing hours. You oversee the counting of rice bales and arrow bundles, and you sit through endless, tense council meetings where a misplaced word could be more fatal than a misplaced step in battle. This is the unglamorous reality of service. Your diet is as disciplined as your training. It is simple, functional fuel. A bowl of steamed rice, some miso soup, grilled fish, and pickled vegetables. There are no grand feasts unless your lord has won a major victory. You eat to maintain a lean, powerful physique, to ensure you have the stamina to wear 60 pounds of armor and fight for hours. Food is not for pleasure. It is another tool of your trade, another element to be mastered. Surviving this world requires more than discipline. It requires cunning. These are the secrets you learn not in a dojo, but in the chaos of a real battle. The tricks that keep you alive when skill alone is not enough. The first and most important secret: your legendary katana is a sidearm. It is the last weapon you should reach for on an open battlefield. Relying on it is a novice's mistake and a fatal one. Your primary weapon is the spear. It gives you reach, the ability to strike from a safe distance, to probe defenses, and to fight effectively in formation. Before that, it's the bow, raining death upon your enemies before they can even get close. You only draw your sword when the battle lines have shattered and the fight becomes a desperate close-quarters struggle. It is a symbol, yes, but on the field, it is a tool of last resort. Another secret is that you do not fight the armor. You fight the man inside it. Your armor can deflect a clumsy slash, but it has gaps: the armpits, the neck, the groin, the inner thighs. Combat is not an elegant exchange of blows. It is a brutal wrestling match. You grapple, you throw your opponent to the ground, pin them, and drive your short sword, the wakizashi, or a dagger through the gaps in their protection. It is intimate, ugly, and effective. Your greatest weapon is your mind. The fearsome masks you wear, the men yoroi shaped into demonic faces, are not just for protection. They are to create terror, to dehumanize you and make your enemy hesitate. Your kiai, your war cry, is not a mindless scream. It is a tool to project your spirit, to startle your foe, and to control the adrenaline and fear burning inside you. You are a master of psychological warfare. What other clever tactics from history do you find fascinating? Share them in the discussion. So, What is the final verdict on your life as a samurai in this fading age of war? You were a paradox, a killer who practiced calligraphy, a brutal enforcer who studied the subtle serenity of the tea ceremony. You were the gear in a relentless war machine, a blade whose only purpose was to cut. Your personal honor was your guide, but survival was your true master. You lived by a code that extolled loyalty in an age defined by betrayal and sought a noble death in a profession that usually delivered an anonymous one. And then the impossible happened. The wars ended. After a century of bloodshed, the country was unified under the Tokugawa shogunate. The demand for warriors evaporated. The unmoored blade was given a final command: return to your scabbard and stay there. Suddenly, your entire reason for being, your skill in combat, your tactical genius, your readiness to kill and die, became not just unnecessary, but a threat to the new, hard-won peace. And here's the bridge to our time, to the year 2025. You are no longer a samurai, but you face the same abyss of purpose. You are a master craftsman whose lifelong skills have just been made obsolete by a robot. You are a brilliant corporate analyst, and an AI can now produce a better report in 6 seconds than you can in a week. You are a professional driver in a world of self-driving vehicles. The question that haunted the now masterless samurai of the 17th century is the same one that confronts millions today. What is your value when the one thing that defined you is no longer needed? The samurai class was forced to adapt, transforming from warriors into scholars, poets, and bureaucrats. Their story is a stark reminder that identity cannot be static. It is a sword that must be reforged, not just sharpened. The tarnished Suba, once your shield in 100 battles, becomes a relic, a memory of a world that is gone. The challenge for both you and the samurai is to find a new purpose before you become a relic yourself. Thank you for joining us on Epoch Immersion. If this journey through time gave you something to think about, please like and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay curious.